Hey, American contractors, viewers of the American Contractor Show. I'm here with John Dye at Win the Storm, and I have to tell you, anyone that is associated with American Contractor Show, you are a badass.
Big shout out to American Contractor Show. If you don't know, you definitely need to check out the Storm Summit. They're doing it in excellence. Check them out.
Hey, what's up? This is your friend, Francisco Serrano. If you haven't checked it out, American Contractor Show, YouTube channel, Facebook channel, Twitter, Instagram, all the platforms, you need to go them, like them, start learning about your craft.
Hey, I'm Matt Danskin with Restoration Referral System. Check out the American Contractor Show. The truck that they've got is awesome. Everything else that they have going on.
This is Larry Bache with the Merlin Law Group, helping policyholders for more than 30 years. If you have a claim or your client has a claim that needs help, please feel free to call the Merlin Law Group because we are the true policyholder advocate.
C3 was eager to help us, and even whenever we weren't giving them work, they were still eager to give advice. The things that they were putting out for the for changing from DMO to RFG and giving that to the industry and not charging anything for it, I thought was really cool. And that's stuff that I as a contractor appreciate. I'd recommend C3 to any contractor that's looking for a PA, especially if you're around Colorado. Great guys, man. I'm nothing but happy with the work they've done for us.
What's up, everybody? I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers, bringing you guys your daily hail forecast, sponsored as always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, and American Contractor Show. We have a link to their pages in the description to this video, so go ahead and check them out there. For our weather today, we've got all risks possible from hail to wind to tornadoes, and that's going to span all the way from the Front Range up into the Midwest. Then tomorrow, we're going to also have a pretty substantial risk, but it's going to stick to the northeast, as well as a little bit of a wind risk along the Gulf Coast with Tropical Storm Nicholas. Which, speaking of Tropical Storm Nicholas, we're going to check in on that as well as a couple of other disturbances we have going on in the Atlantic at the end of the show here. But before we get into all of our weather, as you guys know, we want to talk about our upcoming events. So the first of that is going to be the OU Nebraska Tailgate. Guys, this is going to be the game of the century. So it's going to be definitely going to be a good one. You're going to want to be there if you're a football fan or an OU fan. So come see us in Norman at the Bud Wilkinson House on Jenkins. You can't miss us. That's where our tailgate is going to be. And that is September 18th. So we're going to be doing OU Nebraska Tailgate, free food, free beer, some cornhole. So come hang out with us there. And then while we're doing tailgates, we're going to do an OU Texas ticket giveaway. So if you guys come to the tailgates, you can put your name into the drawing there. And then if you post a picture of yourself at the tailgate on social media, you get a second entry into that drawing. And then on September 25th, we're going to draw a name to get 2 free OU Texas tickets. So if that is an extra incentive to come visit us at our tailgates and watch some football, then I don't know what is. So come see us there. And then last but not least, we're going to be at RoofCon in Orlando. So switching it up a little bit from Norman. So we're going to be at the Orange County Convention Center from September 30th to October 2nd. So the end of the month here. And if you guys want to register for that, you can use the code HAILYEAH to get 10% off of your RoofCon ticket. So those are our upcoming events for right now. Let's get into yesterday's storm reports and then we'll move into today's forecast. So we had some scattered hail reports from Wyoming into Iowa yesterday, but our most noteworthy events were going to be through the Houston and Galveston area from Tropical Storm Nicholas, as well as up in the northeast. So let's take a look here at that. So like I said, Tropical Storm Nicholas moved through yesterday into, and it's still going through this morning and afternoon. So we got quite a few tropical storm wind reports through that area. Houston got mostly 60s last night with this, but you know, plenty of rainfall. And then along the coastal area, we had wind gusts over 80 miles an hour from that storm as it quickly intensified into a hurricane. So, you know, it was expected to stay below tropical storm force, and then it really just ramped up, got up to a Category 1 hurricane, and now it has weakened yet again back into a tropical storm. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. And then up into New England, had all those wind and hail reports all the way from Michigan through Pennsylvania into New York. We had up to $half sized hail through Pennsylvania, as well as some gusty winds through this area through the Philadelphia and New Jersey area. So that was yesterday, and then into today, our risks are going to be pretty widespread, like we said, from Front Range all the way to the Midwest. So here's what we're looking at for our current conditions. If you guys are in the area all the way from Colorado up into Michigan yet again, that's where our storms are going to be centered on into today. So we've got this cloud cover moving through Kansas and Nebraska right now, and that's where our cold front is setting up and getting ready to drive to the southeast. So we've got some showers moving through that area, and those are going to intensify as the afternoon and evening go on. And then right ahead of that, we've got that nice, warm, unstable environment for that to move into. And then down into Texas and Louisiana, talking a little bit about Tropical Storm Nicholas once again. So you can see that spinning away here. It really stalled out last night, and it has been just dumping a bunch of rain through the Texas and Louisiana area, but it has since weakened, like we said, to tropical storm force. It's like 45-mile-an-hour winds right now, so still below severe limits, but doing plenty of rainfall through that area. Then into what we're expecting into today. So you guys saw that cold front there on the map with those showers and that cloud cover, and that's kind of driven by our cold front. So we're moving into cold front season, and this is what we've got now. These are the main drivers of our severe weather season. So we got a low pressure system up here in Canada, and that's going to bring all this nice cool air down into the Central Plains. So this is what we got by 6 p.m. You can see those temperatures starting to kind of dwindle a little bit once we get up into Wisconsin and Minnesota, the Iowa area, and the nice and warm temperatures down here in the southeast. That's going to continue to drive southeastward into this afternoon and evening while this cold front pushes off into the northeast, and that's where our storms are going to be centered. So this is going to be the main story that we're going to see for the next few weeks, is just cold fronts like this one pushing through, driving those storms in that unstable environment ahead of it. So if you guys want to see that cold front even better on this map, here it is. Can you spot it? It's right through Kansas, through Iowa and Missouri, and then up into Michigan. We got 66 degrees up in Minneapolis, working our way all the way to 81 in Dallas, 84 in Wichita, so plenty of warm, muggy temperatures ahead of that cold front, getting ready to move into that environment and drive all those storms later on this afternoon. So here's what our instability is looking like ahead of that front. So we've got not a ton here. We're still sitting in the low to moderate area, but right now we're looking at what's called lapse rates, and that's just how quickly the environment cools with height. That gives us a ton of other instability. So we're sitting at pretty high lapse rates through the Front Range of Colorado into Kansas, and that coupled with these low to moderate CAPE values is going to help us drive those storms into this evening. So that's going to dwindle as the evening goes on, the sun goes down, instability goes down with it, and then we'll see those storms start to diminish. So this is what that all is going to look like coming together on our future radar. So just general showers that are going on right now, but as we push off into the afternoon and evening, we'll start to see a couple of isolated storms forming south of Denver. Again, I'm not sure that those are going to push far enough west to hit you guys in Denver. Sorry guys, I think it's going to stay mostly to your east. But we've got those forming by 2:30 p.m., so just a couple hours here. Those are going to blow up as they move eastward, producing a hail and wind chance along with them. And then we've still got some just general showers through Kansas, still waiting on those to ramp up into the overnight hours, and there they are. So south of Wichita, and then just, I guess, into the central part of the state, we've got those isolated storms forming again in that unstable environment. Those could produce some larger hail into tonight, as well as this band of storms that's going to push eastward with mostly a wind risk. And those are going to continue off into the east through the evening and overnight hours. Then for those of you guys in the Michigan and Midwest area, quiet start to your afternoon, but check this out by 5 p.m. Got these storms forming through Michigan, isolated at first, but then quickly turning up into a linear threat all the way from Illinois through Indiana into the very far northwestern part of Ohio. We're going to get plenty of those, driving some wind along with it, as well as possibly some $quarter to $half sized hail into this afternoon and evening, and those are going to continue to push southeastward through the overnight hours, and you'll wake up to some loud thunderstorms tomorrow in southern Indiana and Kentucky. So this is what that all looks like in our hail forecast here. So surprise, surprise, we got a $quarter to $half sized risk all the way through that area. And then where those high unstable values meet those high lapse rates, that's where we're going to have that higher possibility for some larger hail. So zooming on in here to our city-specific forecast, Denver, low-end chance, because if those storms can form far enough west, and we've seen it happen, we could get some $quarter to $half sized hail for you guys into this afternoon. But then Dodge City, where those storms are pretty consistently moving over and we do have that high instability, you guys are at a moderate chance of seeing hail today. And if we do get enough of an unstable environment, you could see some ping pong to golf ball sized stones. Wichita, chance for you guys to get $quarters to $half into this evening and tonight with those storms. Pushing our way eastward into St. Louis, Indianapolis, Detroit. You guys all also have a $quarter to $half size chance into this evening and tonight with any of those linear storms that push southeastward over you all. And then last but not least, you guys up in Buffalo, $quarter to $half size chance for you guys as well with that same risk area. Then for our wind threat, it's going to be pretty much in the same area as our hail threat into today. You guys saw those linear storms. We like to see those producing wind. And then we've also got clusters moving through here in the Central Plains, as well as our tropical storm Nicholas risk. So let's jump in here. So once again, Denver, Dodge City, Wichita, you guys are all in a low-end threat of seeing some gusty winds tonight in the 58 to 73 mile an hour range. And then up into St. Louis, Indianapolis, Chicago, you guys also have a low-end chance of seeing some gusty winds, but once we get up into Detroit, and then just between Chicago and Indianapolis, that's when those storms are really looking good in that linear form, and they're driving pretty quickly southeast on our models so far, so we're gonna put you guys in a moderate chance of seeing some damaging winds into tonight. Then eastward into Detroit and Buffalo, once again, low-end chance for Buffalo to get some gusty winds and severe weather into tonight. And then working our way into our tropical chances. So if you guys are in New Orleans, Fayetteville, Lake Charles, any of you guys could see a low-end chance of some gusty winds. Nicholas is no longer doing severe winds, but it is still going to produce a threat of tornadoes with any spin-up storms along with it. So we see that pretty frequently with tropical systems. So we're going to leave you guys in a low-end chance of seeing some gusty winds and possible spin-up tornadoes into tonight with that system. Then for tomorrow, going to be kind of a similar looking risk. It's cold front season, guys, and that cold front is going to continue to push eastward, driving storms through our New England area into tomorrow. So already by 9 a.m., starting to get some loud thunderstorms working their way into the New England area. And then check this out. Once again, by 1 p.m., things are really starting to ramp up throughout the middle of the day, working our way through Vermont, through New York, through Pennsylvania. We have some loud storms with hail as well as gusty winds possible. And then some scattered activity through West Virginia, Kentucky, and Ohio. There's enough instability down there for that to produce some gusty winds as well as possibly small hail here and there. That's going to continue to drive southward, and then by 4:30 p.m. Central, by 5:30 your all's time on the East Coast, right at the end of your workday, things are really looking good in that linear mode through the Northeast, so that could produce definitely some wind-driven storms as well as some hail in the $quarter to $half size range with that linear storm mode. And then those are quickly going to taper off as they move towards the East Coast. Check that out by 10 p.m., starting to wind down a little bit and just some loud thunderstorms here and there, getting ready to work their way through Massachusetts and Connecticut and working their way off the coast. So there they go, off the East Coast into tomorrow night and into the early morning hours. Then it should be a quiet day for you guys by Thursday morning. So this is, again, what that's going to look like for our hail forecast graphic for you guys. $quarters to $half anywhere possible along that cold front with that line of storms that's expected to move through. So if you guys are in Lexington, Kentucky, Pittsburgh, Charleston, West Virginia, you guys could all get a low-end chance of $quarter to $half because, again, that is very scattered through that area. Mostly loud thunderstorms for you guys, but you could get a severe hailstone or two through that area. Then through New York, same story for you since things are starting to wind down as they move into your area. Holton, Maine, low-end chance, but through Portland, through Albany, once those storms are really ramped up and as intense as they are appearing to be throughout the day, that's where we're going to get you guys a moderate chance of $quarter to $half sized hail into tomorrow. And then for wind, it's again going to be a similar risk for you all. We're also adding in our tropical storm Nicholas risk along the Gulf Coast, but starting out with our New England risk. Lexington, low-end chance for you guys, same story, pretty scattered, but then once we move up towards that linear storm mode through Pittsburgh, through Albany, through Portland. That's where we're going to give you guys a moderate risk once again for some damaging winds into tomorrow afternoon and evening. Holt, Maine, still a low end chance for you since it doesn't look like they're really going to ramp up enough at that point as they're passing over you. Then down to the Gulf Coast for New Orleans, same story as we're seeing today. Once again, all the way from New Orleans into Mississippi and through Alabama, that's where we could see some gusty winds and possible spin-up tornadoes into tomorrow with that system. So that's what we got for you guys for today for hail and wind as well as tomorrow. And then looking into our tropical chances. So Nicholas is what's been really the main story for the past couple of days in terms of tropics. Tropical storm now, it did ramp up to a hurricane as we said earlier, but only doing 45-mile-per-hour sustained winds right now, so well below severe limits. Spinning away, moving northeast at 6 miles per hour, really stalled out over you guys in the Houston area last night, just dropped a ton of rain. Still going to continue with that slow movement as it moves towards Louisiana into the next 12 hours, and then as that pushes off of the Texas border and into Louisiana, should dip down into the 30s by Wednesday morning for wind speeds. So not a ton to be concerned about in terms of, again, long-term damaging winds. However, we do want to watch that system for any spin-up tornadoes, as well as just the buckets of rain that has been dropping over the area. Then for our next two systems that we've got going on, they're mostly going to stay in the Atlantic. Fortunately, this first one is going to be right along the Atlantic coast, moving up those warm Gulf Stream waters. So we got a 30% chance of that to form in the next 2 days as it moves over the Bahamas, and then once it moves northward along the east coast, that's when we get a 60% chance of formation into a tropical depression over the next 5 days. So we're keeping a close eye on this one, but our next tropical depression could really come from this guy that's moving off of the Africa coast right now. So in the next 2 days, 70% chance of formation into a tropical depression, and then the next 5 days, a 90% chance into our next named system. So we could see this be our next named storm as it moves over those nice warm Atlantic waters through those favorable conditions through that area. So we're really going to be watching both of these systems to make sure that they don't sneak in another named storm in the next few days. So that's what we have for you guys for our hail and wind forecasts for the next 2 days. And if you guys want to stay tuned to your severe risks, you can follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit See First on Facebook so you never miss a live video. And then if you guys want to get in contact with us, you can call us at 855-334-4245. You can also email us if you would rather at info@hailtrace.com, or check out our website, hailtrace.com, for more details on who we are and what we do. And we will keep you updated as always. But for now, I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers. Thanks for watching.